feedback. Just make sure. Alright, boom. Okay, great. I think I need to turn this down a little bit because I feel like it's going to be a problem. Alright. Hey, J-Dove. Shannon. What's going on? I'm going to need the microphone today because my voice is low. Oh, wait, girl. What you doing? You good? Alright, good. I'm sweating. Why is it so hot in London? But I ain't complaining because that's what we do. And then we take the weather away and then we're like, oh, it's so cold. I hate it here. Girl. How are you guys? Hit the like button when you come in. I think I've cracked the whole YouTube thing because I feel like I need music to do this, but obviously YouTube don't like it. So if I play it very quietly on my phone, I feel like I can get away with it because I've got away with it a few times. But if it's coming through the studio speakers, then they nab me. I've been cleaning, I've been nesting. It feels like I've been nesting. She asked me what this is. Like, hey, happy bar, my love. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, this is instead of a nap. Because I thought after I finished work, I would do a nap and I'd come on fresh. I knew once I go to sleep, then I'll come back because sleep was a myth over the new moon. And I haven't been sleeping well because I've been purging. Hey Amber, cleaning and crying, girl. I was crying as well, man. This time last week, oh my god. Jesus, I had to go outside literally and go and ground myself. Yeah, the purge is real, my G's. And why wouldn't it be? Because we've had so many so many energy shifts. So I kind of grasped small, but I only watched it once. I wish I watched it another time more. But I posted it in the community. I've already done that. So Black Magic 363 had on Dr. Phil Valentine and he broke down what this Schumann resonance meant. Something to do with dark goddess energy coming through. Girl, it was a lot. It was a lot, but I was like, it makes a lot of sense though. It makes a lot of sense. Like, whatever this blast of energy that has come through for us on Father's Day, can you imagine? On Father's Day, I feel like those of us that are very sensitive to these shifts, we're being dragged. We're being dragged, even on the build-up. So I titled the video, the vessel is now the servant of the soul. I don't know, I just made it up as I went along. And like literally before I came up, I was like, what am I going to title this? And due to this huge level of purging, I'm now starting to suspect. Sound like my mum. I'm starting to suspect that the vessel, as we've already spoken about, is going through its ascension, so it's turning from carbon to crystalline. We get that and we know that, but I feel like I don't know what we thought was going to happen. I don't know what I thought was going to happen. I don't know how I thought that would look, going from a carbon base to crystalline. And now my body is purging. And it's purging because it wants to be in the right position to serve the soul right now, to serve our soul paths, our soul missions. Is the music too loud? Do you think, I don't know if YouTube will nab me, I hope they don't. Let's watch it in. Hey. Anyway, yeah, I feel like whatever the vessel once wanted, it's being overridden by the soul, which makes a lot of sense as to why a lot of us are cleaning and nesting, because the soul doesn't like to stay in clutter, it doesn't like to stay in filth, it doesn't like to stay in anything that's uncomfortable, and that literally means your environment, the people and places and things that you used to entertain are no longer entertainable at this point, and you have to go with what the soul wants and the soul needs. I need it. I need the music because I feel like when I'm not doing these videos with music, I don't know, I just feel like I just don't do as good a job. And I'm doing the cards today. I know I told you that I was going to leave them alone for a minute, but I ain't, because we are fresh into this solstice energy that hit us on Wednesday, which was very beautiful. Sick as I was, it was still so beautiful. And so I'm using my two favourite decks from that space, from the heart chakra. I'm using the Wisdom of Avalon, and I'm also going to be using the fairy crystal, no, I'm lying, fairy, what's it called? The fairy tarot, to clarify. Okay? So those are all cleansed up. So what do I want to, there's so much things I wanted to talk to you about, because I was just like, I'm just gonna, I said that I was gonna come back with the breakdown of The Flash. I didn't get to the cinema. Our moderator is here. Yeah, I didn't get round to it. I didn't get round to seeing the film because obviously I've been under the weather differently. The solstice theme was, to me, it was a celebration of the transformation and the elevation of the masculine. There's a particular card that came out with the Andinka deck, and it said, in order to become king, he or she who wishes to become king or queen must first serve. And I was so gassed by it all, and I was so excited, I think, more for the divine feminine. Thank you, 1981. EXO. I got so gassed that the divine feminine had done her, or not finished, but she'd gone through her process of service, and therefore was in a space to receive and should prepare for that. I forgot to big up the masculine on how they are truly demonstrating this service. I am seeing a lot more masculine energies pulling these cards, and they're popular. Just start and they're so popular, and I'm here for it. Honestly, I just feel like masculine energy at this time has gone through an inner standing that they've been receiving. They've been receiving a lot. I don't want to say taking. They have been receiving a lot. So therefore, I feel like masculine energy is like, okay, I get it now. Let me start to give. So if you're still ramping with masculine energy that is still in a space of holding back and taking from you, blood, get away quickly, because there are masculine energies that are really truly um, in a position or in a place where they want to be of service. And it's just such a beautiful thing, not only to see, hey Bellas, not only to see, but also to experience. Honestly, the masculine energies around me, I mean, I've been very, very lucky. Guys, oh my god. I've been very lucky to have so many masculine energies in my life that reciprocate and also have the balance of the masculine and the feminine energies. So therefore, they give as much as they receive. My problem is picking partners, and I tend to pick partners where I feel like I pour more. But my cheats, I ain't picking those people no more, it seems, because whoa. See the sickness. I have to pick up my masculine friends, family, loves, whatever you want to call them, yeah. Because it was the masculine energies that came to look after me. Seriously, boiling me down foods and putting concoctions and things, making sure I was okay, cleaning up for me. Blood, I don't even know how to act. So I'm just saying, masculine energy is understanding, inner standing, as we had to, because I think that many feminine energies were running around talking about, I'm a queen, I'm a goddess, I'm an empress, and they weren't in service to nothing or no one, especially not themselves. So it took then, I remember having that revelation with a friend of mine saying like, I'm a queen, da 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 da, and then I was like, wait, let me think about a queen. What does a queen do? A queen is in service, right? Queen must serve their queendoms, and it's been more than evident that especially the queens of history, our story, have not been doing that. They really truly haven't been serving the people, their constituents, and I feel like we had to learn the hard way. We had to learn the hard way. Some of us got dragged and kicking and screaming into service. And I feel like now the masculine energy has truly understood that in order to stand as divine masculine, first of all, you must be in service. First of all, to yourself, to the collective, and then to, you know, even not in that order, like first to yourself and then to whomever else. Do you understand? So, a big up divine masculine energy in these times. And I think this is also helping with the acceleration of the ascension process, that more and more balance is coming between the masculine and the feminine energies, that the narrative that the masculine and feminine energies cannot seem to become cohesive and blend and gel is a false narrative that we are breaking, that we are smashing through, that we are refusing to be any part of. Had a conversation with my mom yesterday in front of the camera, and I asked her some questions from you guys, and also some questions that I also had, and I was so happy with the interaction that I tried to post it immediately, and I think an hour before it was due to go live, I took it down because I was like, wait, I need to rewatch this thing because I was so in the moment, and I feel like there was some things that my mum said that were really, really personal, really personal in regards to um, our lives, me and her together. And she was really happy to share. It was me that felt some type of way. So I feel like I need to rewatch it. I feel like I need to edit some things because my mum, she just has got no YouTube etiquette. So she's calling people's names. I don't want none of my aunties coming for me because my mum was speaking certain things not out of malice, but just in terms of using examples and stuff. And I'm just like, oh girl, no. This is not YouTube etiquette, so bear with me, but there'll be a conversation between me and my mum. My mum also addressed the mother wound with the masculine as well. She addressed Ubuntu. Ubuntu um, is basically the art and the practice of oneness. Um, Treat me how you would treat yourself. Treat nature and your environment at large as you would yourself. And I feel like this is why I feel like the vessel is now the servant to the soul, because regardless of what you want to do, you are going to do what the soul needs. And the soul needs that oxytocin. Do you understand that burst of oxytocin? Those good deeds, those helping others, that being in service. The soul needs that in order to be seen. So I feel like we're going to see a lot more of that across the board. There's not going to be some, and I'm putting it out there. Honestly, I'm putting it out there for many of these platforms that are podcast based and definitely speaking against and um, supporting the divide between the masculine and feminine energies. I think there needs, not even that there needs to be, there's going to be a turnaround, because you're soon gonna see that masculine and feminine energies are gonna start gelling. They're gonna start getting into some type of inner standing. Again, my mum addressed some of the ways that we can have better relationships, not only in love ships, but our ships between, especially the feminine energies. I can't wait to post it because mum snapped. She just went, but she was a bit concerned that she didn't look glamorous because I was putting rollers in her hair. But that's our bonding time. So and we have some of the most amazing conversations when we're doing that. So I thought it'd be perfect to share that with Uno. But yeah. Hey girl, hey girl. Oh, thank you, girl. Hey, Queen Diamond. I love that for us. So also, we are not going to be able to get away with trying to indulge the lower aspects of ourselves. As soon as we do that, there will be an immediate consequence. Hear me now. Hear me now. Remember, I warned you. There's going to be immediate consequence for that. I stick to minding your business because the distractions are high and there is much wahala going out there. To the point where, to me, it's ridiculous, in fact, because it just seems to get more and more bizarre. They're just trying. I just feel like that narrative of getting us to care about things that we wouldn't normally care about is long now, isn't it? Like it's the banana in a tailpipe vibe. Like, I'm not gonna fall for no banana and no tailpipe shit, man. Come on, man. Let's stop that. Let's stop it, and let's use our discernment, use our intuition, use our tools, divination tools, use our instincts and intuitions to read the room. Let's do that. Because I feel like as long as you continue to, even when you hear things like this, um, you know, whatever the narrative that's being peddled out there, first thing we do, we run to something outside of ourselves. Now we've come into the habit of running to tarot or running to other esoteric speakers to find out what's going on. That's all very fair and well if you genuinely have an interest in learning about, you know, the ins and outs, the technicals of what is actually going on, as I do like with the Schumann resonance. I don't really know much about it, like, but I would like to learn more. I'd like to tap deeper into it. But when it comes to people putting their opinions on certain headlines, and I don't give a fuck about your opinion as much as I don't give a fuck about the headline as itself. Do you understand? So I feel like and what we are doing as well as a collective of teachers and healers is that we are supporting the narrative, because we're getting more and more people to talk about it. Let's just dead it. Let's just not talk about it, and let's just carry on, because we don't care. We don't give a fuck. In the same way that I told you 3-4 years ago that celebrity was dead, yeah, and that they wouldn't give a fuck about you if you had bad news or any misfortune in your life. It's the same way that we should not give a fuck about them. It's the same way as everything else. Let's keep the same energy for things outside of ourselves. Do you understand? Yes, we're gonna have compassion for each other when it comes to you know, fighting for our freedom, fighting for our sovereignty and all of these things. But if you're making stupid decisions because you're bored, or you're just looking for attention, or you've got too much fucking money, like, why would I fucking care? And I urge you lot, man, just to stay out of them narratives, man. Don't even repeat it with your mouth. And if somebody wants to discuss it with you, shut it the fuck down, quick. Because we're feeding it, we're giving it life by even talking about anything. And if you notice, like, I sound really like mysterious about it, but you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. You don't see the headlines. So but interesting things to talk about, you know, these speculations now about the United States possibly being the blueprint or the original space for Atlantis and Lemuria. Like, I'm here for the Lemurian thing, like, because Mount Shasta, I'm telling you lot, Mount Shasta, I'm telling you lot, remember you heard it here from 2020, Mount Shasta is the doorway to Lemuria. I don't even know nothing about no Lemurians and all these things there, but I know that they are. I know that they definitely are. And I know that their doorway is Mount Shasta. Can't tell me nothing. I just know. So, LA, California to Seattle, you guys. What they're going to be calling earthquakes, I don't think they're going to be earthquakes. I think they're going to be movement of what's happening up and around Mount Shasta with the beings that live inside of that space. And they're going to be making themselves known as well, I think. I think we should pull some cards, because I didn't want to stay here too long, because I'm really tired. I really wanted a nap. But like I said, you know when you're not well, or you've got symptoms of stuff, it just gets worse as soon as it gets dark. My mum was saying, like, but that's like everything gets worse in the dark, but as soon as the daylight comes, things seem a lot better. I mean, she's so sweet. You lot are gonna love her. I'm trying to get her to have her own YouTube channel. She thinks it's ridiculous, But you lot are gonna love her. She's just so dope and so sweet, and she has the most weird but sweet and simple antidotes to life. Honestly, guys, I can't wait to introduce you to my mum. But meantime, let's get into prayer. Our divine Mother and Father who live within us, hallowed be thy name. Our freedom, come, your will be done on earth as it is within us. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses against ourselves and others, as we forgive those who trespass against us and themselves, through all lifetimes, timelines, and levels of consciousness. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the absence of love. We are the kingdom, we are the power, divided, we are weak, united, we are victorious, and to you, the Almighty, we give all of the glory forever and ever, do our Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is done, it is done, it is done, and so it is, and so it will be a shame. I invite my ancestors, my guides, my angels, my Orisha, my guardians of the sea, of the air, and the earth into this space so that we can have a clear, precise reading and messages for whatever the collective needs to know right here, right now, in this last 666 portal. Can you believe it's been a whole year since this time last year I was on a plane from London to Jamaica? I was about to have the most incredible experience. It still is, tops one of the most incredible experiences. I think Egypt tops it, but it was, oh my god, and I was in shenanigans. You lot already know. I was in shenanigans. I want you lot to really look back on your journals, on your stories, on your posts and stuff, as reference to where you were this time last year, mentally, physically, spiritually. Where were you, and how have you expanded? How has things kind of played out for you? Because you see me, this is how I know God is real, yeah, spirit is real in my life. Because when I look back 1 year to the day, as to not only where I was, but also the people closest to me were, blood, I feel like we was in the pits of hell, honestly. And today I can just see healing, joy, peace. It's just so beautiful to be witness to, and also to be the reciprocate, you know what I mean, to receive that grace and mercy. And as much as obviously I give all of the glory to the Most High God, I do, but I also give myself so much. I have to, because I did the work. I was there, I was the one that was in the pits of, and I was the one that had to physically do stuff to get myself out. Yes, I was heavily supported and guided, but I actually had to do the work. So now I am able to reap the rewards without feeling obligated to anyone else for bringing myself into this peace, and also not feeling like I did that for anybody else either. I'm talking about my closest, my nearest and dearest. Now, like, you lot might know, you lot might not know, yeah, but my daughter's quite open about it because she posted on Instagram today. But my baby's in rehab and she's been there for 4 weeks already. And it's been hellish for us as a family for what she's been going through and how she's been dealing with that. And to see her now 4 weeks in, how much progress she's made, how healthy and happy she looks and feels, like, you guys, you don't even know. Like, so for me, and I can't say, she can't say, oh, it's because of my mom or anybody else. It was her. It was her that manifested all of the experience that she's having now for her healing. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, like, please, guys, just really celebrate yourselves, man. Really give yourself pats on the back for how far you have come in just a very short space of time. Thank you, Shona Benita. Thank you, guys. Honestly, I'll send you guys her love. Oh my God. I know she said one day we will start talking about this, me and her, like publicly with you lot. But it's just been such. Oof, it's been a lot. It's been a lot, yeah. So anyway, cards are cleansed, and so let's start pulling our first set of cards. Oof. Is that all the cards? Is that all the cards? Alright. Wisdom of Avalon. Ooh, so warm, my London. Ooh. Thank you, Queen Diamond. On Saturdays we wear blue for Mama Yamea. You already know. Oh my God. I want to tell you. You know when you cough so much, you get abs. I know, because I'm really repping. If I ever told you, like, the connection between me and this man, you lot wouldn't even believe me. The goblin, the wounded human ego. Woo! Spot on. The goblin, the wounded. Let's read it, and then it ties it to what I said about the vessel being the servant to the soul now. Because for so long, it's been the other way around. If anything, the vessel has just been doing its own thing and running amok. Running amok. But now, tables have turned. When the goblin appears on your path, your plans are or are about to go awry. The goblin wants to lead you astray and whispers the negative spell of fear, anger, resentment, self-righteousness, arrogance, selfishness, greed, gluttony, procrastination, and addiction. Woo! That's our card. This is the card. Because all those things we're going to experience before the soul is allowed to take the lead. And some of us will be purging that physically, as I am, because I know that that's what this is. You know, this is a real purge of me having to, like you say, Bella, surrender to this process and allow my soul to lead me. But before it can do that, there is some things. All of these things have come up for me: fear, anger, resentment, self-righteousness, arrogance, selfishness, greed, gluttony, procrastination, and addiction. All of those things have come up for me and mine as we have processed through or progressed through this process. I also want to say something as well. I saw something and I kept seeing it repeatedly through different avenues, that for those of us who have constantly been in survival mode or fight or flight mode, now that we are trying to adopt a peaceful, softer existence, we are going to feel tired because we have been running on chemicals, all types of adrenalines and this and that have come from the fight or flight mode or the survival mode. And now that we have kind of trying to step into something more peaceful and less stressful, we're going to feel tired. We're not going to feel motivated because the things, all those chemicals that used to drive us, they don't exist anymore for us because we're not stressed, we're not angry, we're not fearful, we're not resentful, we're not selfish, we're not being greedy or gluttonous or procrastinating. Like right now we're just tired, and I think we should allow our vessels grace to rest and to acclimatize and to integrate into the soul now being able to take the lead in whatever it is that it sees fit for us to engage in. Sorry guys, the gas. When the goblin appears, it's time to stop what you're doing and check your motives. Are you coming from an ego-centered place? Are the circumstances in your life triggering unresolved past issues that still need healing? And I'm telling you, that's a theme. That's a theme. I went to acupuncture last week, yeah. And it's the same place where we were sending Key before she went into rehab. And so the woman was so sweet, she was so nice, really asking about her and really wishing her well. And as I lay on the table and she put these things into me, I just started to cry. And then it just got worse progressively as I managed to pull myself together. But the feelings of worthlessness, the feelings of failing my daughter, the feelings of not being a good mother, and all of these things started to really bubble up in me, and I had to release them because I had to turn and have compassion for my 20-year-old self, my 20-year-old broken self who was about to bring life into the world without having a clue of what the fuck I was doing. And I had to give myself grace. I had to nurture that 20-year-old that didn't have the nurturing that I needed at the time. I had to comfort her, and the 21-year-old, and the 25-year-old, and the 26-year-old, which is the age of my baby right now. And I was still in crisis. I was still in crisis, but I didn't have time to fall apart. Do you get? So there was so much grace that had to come, and there was so much feelings that came up that I really didn't even expect, especially as I was going for like a really healing process of acupuncture. I was just like, but we need to realize that when we go for healing processes, in order for the healing to take place, the pus must be squeezed out. Wow. Yeah, man, we was running on that fight or flight shit, definitely. Okay, now is the time for self-elevation and taking inventory before you take another step. The goblin represents the wounded ego and its influence. Dark represents areas of the psyche. Repressed areas of the psyche get triggered, either in you or warning you of a dynamic between you and someone else. Do nothing, stay still, send loving energy to yourself and others, and remember the divine connection in all things. The goblin will disappear and lose power when you focus on love and fairness, and so it is, and so it will be, as Shay. That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. And not only did grounding myself, having compassion, pouring into myself, also sharing. When people were asking me how I was being honest. And like, I'm not even gonna lie to you, definitely not gonna cry today, but for the past year, I have been in bits. I've been in bits. Like, not only with what's going on with my daughter, but also for myself. I've been in bits. And, you know, the recollaboration of allowing the soul to lead, the surrender. We say it all day, every day, surrender, surrender, the hanged man, surrender. But to actually do that is a physical, spiritual, mental process that takes time. So I'm begging y'all to have grace and patience with yourself and the process. You know, you may have got it down for the mind, but the spirit and the body might still be lagging behind. So just take your time. Take your time, be patient with yourself. Understand, my baby used to say, Mummy, you can't save me. Even though I would do anything to help her. But I had to save myself first. You know, like when You know, like when they say when you're on the airplane and the oxygen comes down and it says, put the oxygen mask on your face first before you put it on your child or somebody that needs it also, or less able than you. Like, I had to put the oxygen mask on myself first. And now that I can breathe, I can better support myself and my baby, because before that we were both flapping around without a clue on what the fuck was going on and what we were supposed to be doing. So I love that the Goblin card came out for the collective. Thank you, girl. Alright, Bomb. I think we can get a little clearer for ya. I love as well that my mum, the way that somebody asked her a question, you know, what was the hardest thing you had to accept about parenthood? And when she said, I just got to do it on my own, like, I was like, eesh. I mean, that was her choice. Because she did have a village, but I feel like the village were not really strong in themselves. So I feel like she chose to do it by herself, and therefore has put the oxygen mask on herself first so that she can breathe and better support what came after her. My mum's a G. I can't wait to share her with you. I can't wait. Right, Mum. We've got a king and a queen, but they're from different suits. But I'm starting to see opposites attract and shit. I'm starting to see differences can be a very beautiful thing. So we've got the King of Winter. I would say maybe this is how the masculine and feminine energy is balancing itself out in this reality that the soul must now lead. So the King of Winters, the King of Swords, knowledge, experienced, fair-minded, unemotional. Get advice from someone professional and objective. Public speaking, unemotional relationships. And I feel like with the King of Swords, we are looking at detachment. We are looking at being able to put the oxygen masks over our faces first, without, like I said, when I was talking about these headlines and stuff, you know, it's not that we don't have compassion, like we don't care. It's that we are putting the oxygen mask over our own faces first before we can tend to the needs of others. Do you get what I'm saying? I feel like sometimes, to be fair, can come across as quite cold or quite unempathic, you know, but in fairness, there always has to be balance, I feel. And sometimes it's not always going to go our way, or we're not always going to get what we want because we want that. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like as this over and leads, this is the discomfort that the vessel is going to be going through, the ego, if you want. And then we've got the Queen of Autumn. Is generous, stylish, gracious, practical. Be practical with respect to how you proceed. The ability to make anything more beautiful. Meeting someone who can help your dreams come true. This is the Queen of Wands. This is definitely, no, I'm lying. Wait, the Queen of Wands, it's not. It's the Queen of Autumn is Pentacles. This is the Queen of Pentacles. And as you can see, look at this. Do you understand? Soft life, bitch. This is the soft life. And I feel like the feminine energy gets that more so than the masculine energy when it comes to allowing the soul to lead. So we're going to see a bit of a push and a pull when it comes to allowing this process within and so without. And like I said, as much as the masculine energy is really learning that service is the way forward in the process, after that process, how long did that process take for us? So again, we have to have patience. And while the masculine energy is in the service, the giving energy, divine feminine energy is in her softer energy and just wants to kind of be served. You understand? And even if that means that the energy is serving itself, it just doesn't want to do too much and is learning to take a back seat, it's learning to rest, put the oxygen mask over her face first, over its face first, before it's looking to save anything or anybody outside of itself. So there'll be a bit of a push and pull when it comes to the energies within you, as well as without. So it's just the message is to be patient, regardless of which one you resonate the most with, or the opposite energies that you may possibly be dealing with. It's song come out twice. Right, let's put another one. I don't understand why you all have to fall. My abs are killing me when I'm telling you the coffin. No. Burden says, I don't know what it says. Burden. I feel like the burden card coming up is a release of, what is still burdening you, what is still holding you heavy, what is still keeping you in fight or flight, what is still keeping you in in a stressful state, and what is preventing you from releasing that? What is it? Be very honest with yourself about what your burdens, you may feel your burdens are, and what is it that is keeping you locked in them. There's going to be some really hard decisions to make, but I feel like as long as you make it from the basis of love, and understand that all you're doing is doing this, is putting the oxygen mask over your face so that you can breathe, and not being concerned about giving somebody else oxygen when you can't breathe. Three of Swords. What broke your heart? What has broken your heart? What has kept your heart broken? And what is preventing you from healing that now? It says, reach out to others for comfort and love. You will grow stronger from this situation, sadness that will heal with time. And I can definitely say that I I really had amazing support when we learned about Key and what she was going through. I had amazing support. Three of Cups was the sickest support that I had. Those girls, also, you know, some of my other brothers and sisters, they were amazing, and so um, they helped keep my heart together and stop me from falling apart. So please, guys, whatever you're carrying, don't carry it by yourself. There's no need. There's absolutely no need. And even if you feel ashamed or embarrassed or afraid that, you know, people will talk about you or gossip about you or whatever, just know that whoever's in your space at this time, they're trustworthy. They are trustworthy, even if for the moment, you know, but they are trustworthy. So please don't be afraid to share what is on your heart that is heavy. That's one of the best ways to release. I mean, like I say, I love to journal. I'm a lone wolf, man. I like to just keep my shit to myself, but sharing, and even with you guys now, so that you guys know that even when you do the work, there's still stuff that's going to be coming up constantly, consistently. And there was this theme that was running about parenting being a karmic undertaking. No lies told. Because the very issues with addiction that my family and my daughter's dad's family have been dealing with, she's having to be the curse breaker, and it's so difficult to watch her. She's so little. Whew. Shit. Our crystal's already pulled. I pulled it earlier for the inner child reading on Patreon. So it made sense. I just thought we'd keep it for the general reading. Alright, guys. We're nearly finished. Okay, boom. I can't see shit. Especially like this. Thank you, Eric. I love you too. Okay. Priscilla Bluestone, 33. The Inner Compass. Priscilla Bluestone planted healing energies from the land of the ancestors into sacred healing landscape. This stone assesses past, present and future. Self-understanding. You are an ancient shaman who has much wisdom to impart and the ability to journey through multiple dimensions in search of healing. You have unshakable core stability and an inner compass that directs you with integrity. Divination. Use natural medicines for ailments. Pay attention to your boundaries. Dig deep into the past, access your memories, and cut yourself free. Examine your deepest intentions and roots. Live in the present moment. Imagine we've got this song twice. You know, if you watch the summer solstice reading, I pulled the King and this poem came up. It's the same song, but I'm not going to put it in because YouTube, they penalise me. Live in the present moment, find your own direction and face challenges with equanimity. You have power to decide. Pay particular attention to your environment. Healing insight. Begin being true to yourself is the basis of all well-being, spiritual and physical. Frequency earthy and high. Chakra Earth Star and Soma mid-hairline. Timing Taurus, Sagittarius and Capricorn soul path. Developing a spiritual compass. My dears, that is your 6/6 portal reading for today. And I will see you soon. I'm going to come back and do this masculine and the mother wound reading finally on the full moon in Capricorn. I think it's time. I feel like I've done enough research. I've listened and spoken to enough different sources to be able to give y'all a presentation on how we can collectively heal this masculine mother wound. And thank you guys again for rocking with me. I love you so much, and I will see you soon. Thank you, Shona, my angel, and yeah, I love you.